Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Jeep and Things. As you can see, today's video will be over and things. The Garmin Instinct Solar, and zoom in down here. Oops, tactical. Back out on that little. So, just heads up, today's video isn't going to be a specific instructional video on how to use the watch. This is my 4th day I've had it. So I'm still learning myself. I've basically got everything down, but the point being is it's the 4th day I've had it, and there are so many excellent instructional videos out there to show you how to set this watch up and use it. And there's so many different things you can use it for. But it's actually pretty easy to navigate and use. So, and you can see my watch face. I have the moon phase. Let me get it down here where you can see it better. If I can get it to fold up here. Turn on the light again. I have the moon phase. And then at the top it says 19 days. And you can control the backlight setting. I just have it set on 8 seconds to help the battery life. And then those bars there in the middle above the time, that's your solar intensity. Then you have the time. And then at the bottom, it shows sunrise, sunset. That's just the particular configuration. Oh, yeah, I think I already told you the moon phase. So we're in the waxing phase. In other words, the moon is getting closer to full each and every night. Basically, what this video will be is I wanted to watch, and we'll turn it around just to show you some of the statistics on it. I wanted to watch, and you can see it's up to 30 hours in navigation mode. 45 millimeter size on the watch itself, 100 meter water, up to 24 days. And then it's got a little asterisk down here, 30 days with charging. And yeah, so basically I wanted a watch that had a GPS on it. 2 things I wanted: solar, so the extended battery life, and I wanted GPS navigation. So when I started when I started YouTubing all the various watches, I basically took my search and I narrowed it down to best GPS outdoor hiking / hunting watches, because that's basically what I'll be using it for. We will be using the Jeep today because we are going to go on a hike to test the navigation of it. And to be honest with you, I set the watch up, I've been playing with it, and it does so many things. Once again, you could YouTube just exactly what this watch does. This is specifically over tracking. We're going to go out hiking. I just wanted to this morning I just YouTubed how to use the navigation feature. Looks simple enough to use, and there are tons of things you could do with the navigation features on it. But just simple, here I am at my car, my Jeep, my truck, my vehicle, start the navigation, go on a hunt, a hike, a run, and then once you're ready to come back, okay, get me back to where I started so I don't get lost. Simple as that. That's what I wanted the watch for. With that being said, looks like it's easy to use. We're going to find out now. I still use my Apple Watch Series 4. I use this in the gym, and being that I have an Apple Watch, an iPhone, Apple phone, Apple AirPods Pro, all these things work seamlessly together. Now, the Garmin does also. But I still use my Apple Watch, like my daughter likes to do training contest, you know, so we'll sync our watches, and she always kicks my butt, but I still will wear this Apple Watch. I still like it, but this will not track me out in the woods like this will. So, and then on let me get into here, there's a couple different apps. You got your Garmin Connect. This will show you, try not to get a glare. This will show you your sleep, your heart rate. This does a ton of things as far as health-wise. We'll get out of that. This morning while I was, and then this is the Garmin Explorer. Go back, show you that's what the icon looks like. So Garmin Explorer, and you can download different types of maps. I just wanted an aerial photo map, and it gives you grid lines, as you can see. Just downloaded this today, but supposedly, and we will test this when we get back, it's showing me where I am right now. But for example, once we get out to where we're going to be hiking, start the GPS. It's going to give us our coordinates, tell us where we are. Then we're going to start navigating. Okay, let's try that again. My GoPro just shut off. So I think we're going good now. Where we left off at was the apps on the phone, and coming back to the watch. When you start your GPS, it's going to give you your coordinates, and it's going to say mark this location. You just hit GPS, which is also, if you're playing with the watch, this is always your yes button, your okay button. Each button does something different. Once again, there's so many people that we're just going to try the GPS today. I want to see how well it works. So this marks your GPS location, and it'll basically just give you a time. It's going to say like 4:45 on August the 14th or whatever the day is. Leave it at that. And when you get done with your hike, hunt, it's going to ask you, do you want to save this or delete this? And in this instance, we're going to save it just for the purpose of when we get back home, see if we can get it to transfer it to this. Once you're in your Garmin Explorer app, it'll give you the option to rename it. And so instead of just saying a time and your location, it's going to say so-and-so conservation hike. But anyways, one last thing before we get going on our hike to see how well this does is, this is once again the Garmin Instinct Solar Tactical. When I went to the Garmin website and ordered this, I saw tactical. Well, the difference is the Garmin Instinct Solar Tactical compared to the Garmin Instinct Solar. The difference is this has stealth mode, which means it'll shut off all Bluetooth, all location, all everything, so nobody can track you. It has a mode, and I really didn't dwell that much into it because, to be honest with you, I'm not going to use it, but apparently if you're in a covert operation and you're captured, it's got some button or section you go to and it erases everything. It is wiped clean and they can't get it back. I don't plan on getting that serious into going out and doing things, if you know what I'm saying. I'm just going to go out for a hike. The last thing is it has for parachuting, in the military term, you know, jumping out of airplanes, parachuting. And it'll give you, it's got a certain mode in your GPS for when you land and all the coordinates. And I don't fly, let alone parachute. So point being is, I could have got the Garmin Instinct Solar for about 60 bucks less, but I couldn't have got this color. So when you get the Garmin Instinct Solar Tactical, you either get it in this moss green. It seems like there may have been a tan, but for sure the green, and a black. And as you can tell, I like green. So I like that color, and you cannot get that color. And you can tell I like green for my phone case, green shirt. I like the drab green color. So you cannot get this color in the Garmin Instinct Solar. Now, when you go to the Garmin Instinct Solar, just a regular solar, this color, you cannot get it in it. So, but there's a ton of colors you can get. Just a heads up on that. So really, this is a fantastic watch. And the things that it does that the regular Instinct Solar won't do, I won't use anyways, but oh well. Let's go hiking. See you in a bit. All right, we made it to where we're going to be hiking. And I guess since it is Jeep and things, we'll get the Jeep in here a little bit. It's looking good. Looking good. But back to the point of today's video. You know, one thing I noticed on the green theme at the house, watch is green, my Travax, or my Travax wallet's green, I guess to match the watch. My, what is this called? Brewmate for my energy drink is green. Hydro Flask is green. Ugh, I guess I got a green theme going here. Anyhow, one thing, on the way here, this has a storm alert. This has an altimeter, barometer, compass, and then it gave me a storm alert at 4:40 on the way out here. So if you press and hold this, if I can get that to focus good, that's your barometric pressure reading. Get up here where it's not a glare. Maybe I need to get out here. And you could tell this shows over the last 6 hours, and it's slowly dropping. So, and it did notify me. It said that it's clouding up a little, not much. The wind's picking up. It's super nice. It's 81 degrees. So, but anyhow, we'll back out of that. Well, we'll just scroll through here for you. There's your compass. There's your altimeter. I've been home all day, so it's basically flatlined. We'll check that when we get done to see how our elevation is done. Then now we'll back out of it. So, trying to do this one-handed back. So now we're going to test the GPS, which is the whole point of this video. Just trying to angle it for you guys so you can, okay, right there might be pretty good. This is your GPS. You can see where it says GPS. So press and hold. All right. It says acquiring satellites. We'll see how long it takes to acquire satellites. You can see the little GPS gauge up there. We are under some trees. And this has GPS, which is Global Positioning System, which is the United States satellites and the systems they use. A lot of times if you walk around, it'll pick up better. So we'll do a little walk to see, away from the Jeep to see. We'll get out from under the trees. It's slow. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. We may have a good signal spot here. Boom. GPS signal. Okay, now it's telling me to press and save. It's giving my coordinates. So we pressed it to save. And you'll see the date, August 14th at 4:51 p.m. saved. So now we should be good to go. Simply just, and we can go down and edit. We'll do this. Icon, position, elevation, delete. We don't want to do any of that. So we just want to back out of that. Track me. And start. So now this should be tracking us. So we're simply going to go back to the Jeep, going to get my gear out, my water, my binoculars, and take us a little hike. And then we'll check the GPS here after a while and yeah, see how it does. See if it'll get us back to the Jeep. See you guys here in a minute. All right, we're trucking along. We went, turn on the backlight. Heart rate's 92, 16 minutes. We went 3/10 of a mile. Just enjoying the nature. There was a couple other guys pulled up about the time I was leaving. Looks like they're going to do a hike out here. Once again, it's a beautiful day. And on the barometric pressure, when it gave me this storm alert, you can go in. When I was watching the video, when I've got the storm alert set, and you can adjust that. So if it's too sensitive, and as I checked the charts, as you saw, the barometric pressure was going down, but it didn't drop off suddenly. So if I keep getting storm alerts and there's no storm / rain, I may go in and set the intensity level to where it's not as strong, so it doesn't react so quick. Another point to today's video is I'm just testing, because when we were at the house talking, you know, it told that you get up to 30 days life on this. And like the Apple watch I have, Series 4, I could wear it a day and a half before I have to charge it, but this watch, when I pulled it out of the box, said 19 days charge. I haven't charged it except for today, just to give it a full charge to test it. It was at 16 days. 16 days when I put it on the charger said it was at 85%. So back up to full charge, 19 days. And if I were to turn off some of the sensors, like the, you know, I've got probably 80% of the sensors turned on. I've got my backlight set to where when I flick my wrist to check my time, it will come on after sunset. And from sunset to sunrise, it'll automatically kick on when I motion my wrist to do so. So basically this is just a test. Obviously, if you use the GPS, it will use more battery life. But there's decent sunlight, so after we take a good hike, we'll see how much of the battery life it did use. Obviously, with 19 days, I don't anticipating it using more, but yeah, we will see how much battery life it uses. And another thing is, the watch actually runs off satellites. You can pick between GPS only, which is Global Positioning System, the United States standard. You can pick Galileo, which is the European standard. You can pick GPS and Galileo, or GPS and I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong because I'm going by memory since I'm out here. Glazno, it's the Russian. And from what research I did for being out here, the Russian version with the GPS, you have more satellites, it picks up better. Not that it would be a great noticeable difference, but it will pick up better. And then if you're using the Galileo, which is the European standard, it says it works better in urban settings, streetwise. So, and on the Garmin Extreme app, you can put it for satellite photo, which I have it on. You can put it on topo or city, so it'll show streets. But nevertheless, I've got it set on GPS and the Russian. Once again, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but so it supposedly uses a little more battery. So we'll take a good hike, enjoy the outdoors. We'll see how the battery life does. And we're up to almost half a mile in 20 minutes. We'll check back in a little bit. All right, guys and gals. Thought I heard something out there. Just picking a side trail to go out through the woods. It is still tracking us. And you can switch this back to your regular watch mode. It will continue to track you till you stop navigation. So we've been out here 36 minutes. I'm just going to follow trails, and then if this trail splits off, I will follow the split, and hopefully it'll, when it's time to return, we'll give ourselves plenty of time before dark, but when it's time to return, then yeah, we'll use, there's two options you can use, my understanding. You can use straight, which is just a little arrow that will point you straight back to where you started, or you can use breadcrumb, which will take you back the way you came. Obviously, in this case, I'm going to use breadcrumb, or bread trail, whatever they call it. I believe it's breadcrumb, to see if it will hopefully take us back. So yeah, we're going to hit some trails. It's beautiful out here. Can't really see very far due to the foliage, but compared to the last couple weeks temperature wise, I am sweating a little because obviously I've been walking and I got my shoulder pack. I didn't bring my full backpack with me, just got the shoulder pack on. Did spray down with Deep Woods Off. The reason I say that's because mosquitoes are already buzzing around my head because I did not put any on my face, but that's all right. But yeah, it's beautiful out here. Even in the woods, I don't know if you can hear the wind. I can hear an airplane up above. But there's even a little breeze out here in the woods. So it's super, super nice out today. I have been out here before, obviously hiking, but it's always been in the winter. And you can see forever. There's a couple lakes out here. Never have been on this path before. That's one of the reasons why I took this path, to test the GPS on my watch, because I don't know if it'll end up here or split off, but we're going to find out. So we're just going to walk along a little piece, enjoy nature, and then check back in here in a little bit. Enjoy. Okay, that path just looped us around in the woods and brought us back out to the main road on the conservation area. You can see the different trail signs. But we're going to head back down this way, which is the way we came in. And I know there's some other trails that do split off because I've taken them before. I had just never taken that trail before. It was a nice walk. So let's head back down this way. We shall find another trail. Head back down. Here's our progress. We've walked 1.16 miles in 45 minutes. Our heart rate's 91. So, and there are other features that I've seen online to where you can go in and change this to a trail you're doing. It's not a detailed topographical map or anything, but since I'm using this for the first time, just to get the basics of get me back to where I want to be, we're just going to keep interesting. We're just going to keep it on plain and simple. We're not going to get fancy on this trip. So we shall continue, find another trail. Okay, we have another trail. It says Lake 2. Get a little closer so you can see it. So let's take this. There's the main trail, or the main road. Give it a try. I do like the fact that they keep this mowed pretty decent. They upkeep it so you can do walks in the summertime and it's not waist high. So I have been on this road before. I have been on this road with my grandson hunting. It's a nice area. Can't believe I'm getting a signal, but I'm getting a phone call, so we shall be back. All right, we're back. Back on the trail, headed toward lake number 2. The one thing, and I'll see when I do my backtrack process, but like I said, I got a phone call, I took it. Now we're back on the trail, but my watch is showing 4 minutes, 55 seconds. We've walked 1.42 miles, so I'm kind of, I don't know if when I stopped, it reset, or I don't know. We're going to find out when we go to do the backtrack and see if it takes me to a certain spot and then picks up on another trail, because I've been out here a while and just kind of curious how that's going to shake out. But anyways, we'll get to lake number 2. I have been out here before, as I was saying before I stopped. I've been deer hunting out here. Brought the grandson out here. There's a couple different lakes back here. One of them's kind of small. The other one's a little bit bigger. But yeah, let's just enjoy the walk, and then we'll catch back up to you when we get to lake number 2. So peaceful out here. We'll see you in a bit at lake number 2. All right, I can see the lake through there, which was our destination up to this point. There's another trail. I came in from this way, walked down here to go to the lake. It does a T here, or you can go down that way. But we're going to head down to the lake here. breeze. And it looks like the woods goes on up into there. All right, there goes something. We made it to the lake. It's more like a pond. But yeah. So, I'm going to find a good spot to check our GPS. It is 6:13. I swapped it back to watch mode. So, and actually, looking, if you can pick that up, if I can focus on it, you can see right above the time, the bar going up. And we've been using our GPS now for a couple hours, and it shows 29 hours. It swapped to 29 hours. We were on 19, I believe it was, 19 days. Now we're down to 29 hours for using the GPS. And I'm going to guess it was, and it may tell us the exact statistics once we finish up today, but I'm going to guess a little over 2 hours of using the GPS. So, and you can, let me state this, this is something that I'll have to play with, and we'll probably be doing other videos. My goal is, oh, that breeze feels good. My goal is, once we get into the fall, and you don't have to worry about mosquitoes, I want to do some more hiking and camping. And I think when you get to your location, whether it's your vehicle or your camping spot or both, you could turn your GPS on, mark it, and then not use your GPS, and then later on it'll take you to that spot. Now, it may not use breadcrumbs, it'll just point an arrow in the direction you need to go. So yeah, we'll check it out. Get down here to a beautiful, get down here to a flat spot to where we can kind of look at this, because I may have to take my watch off just to show this and see if it will lead us back to the Jeep. Let's get up here and we'll check it out. Okay, we got the watch off. It's a good spot to where it shouldn't be too much glare. So, GPS. And then we are going to push it again, which stopped it. It says resume, save. Back to start. So I'm going to guess, once again, this is pretty much an initial test. We'll just see what other, okay, we do not want to discard this. Back to start. And we're going to use the trackback feature. And then you can go into your menu, and we're going to pan or zoom out. Say yes. And let's see what. Okay. That's on a half-mile measurement. Third mile. 500-foot measurement. So, we will just use $500 foot. Yes. Okay, I'm going to put the watch back on and we'll see what it does. Okay, here we go. We're leaving the lake number 2. It's telling me I'm off course, even though this is the way I came in. And I didn't venture too far off any trails. I really didn't venture off any trails. Okay, it's telling me I'm on course. Maybe it's because I got it set to 500 foot instead of a quarter mile or a half mile. So get here where it's not so much of a glare. All right. And I could feel the watch vibrating on my arm. Don't know what the purpose of that is. But it is guiding me on the trail. So we're going to shut it off here because when I get back to the main road, I had went past this. I took the main road that's gravel. It's on state ground. It's not a public road. You can't bring vehicles, but I took it all the way to the end. And then I took another path, if you remember, that just looped me back to the road. So it's probably going to tell me I'm off course, because when I get to this road, I need to go right to get back to the Jeep. If I was truly backtracking, I would need to go left, but we're not going to do that. So in this instance, I know where I am. In other words, I'm not lost. So yeah, when we get back to the road, or when I get close to the road, we'll check back in and see what it tells me to do. Okay, I can see the trail, or the main road up here, right up there. This is where it may get interesting because, let me zoom down. You can see the little loop over there in the lower right hand corner. That's where I took that little path earlier. So this should, if I'm thinking correctly on this, it should tell me, since I am using the backtrack mode instead of the straight across arrow, this should tell me you're off course because you're not backtracking. Ooh, you're not backtracking along the breadcrumb trail. So there's the road. Now at this point, we're going to head back and see if it picks up. Okay, it just told me I'm off course. It flashed. I don't know if I caught that on camera, but it flashed, you're off course. And that makes sense because I'm not truly backtracking. So I'm going to take, because I'm wearing my watch, I got the GoPro in one hand. I'm going to swap to straight across land, if you will. Oh, let's back out of that. We're going to go back into GPS mode. Okay, it says I'm on course. And you've got the little arrow up there showing you basically what I did, because you couldn't see it, apologize, but I've got my headband in my shoulder pack here, but it's showing that I'm 0.3. I swapped maps. I went away from the breadcrumb trail, reset it to where it's straight across. So it's showing me that I'm back on course. Let me stop for you. And you see the finish line, 0.37, 3.7 tenths of a mile away from the Jeep. So it did work. And even though it's still showing the breadcrumb trail, all the loops I made, it's just going straight to the arrow mode, if you will. And in this particular instance, I know where I'm going. I know where the Jeep is. Had I been truly lost, I would have used that breadcrumb trail. I just took a shortcut back, and it was letting me know, no, you're off course. So I reset it, and it now knows that I'm heading in the right direction. So we'll get back to you guys once I actually see the Jeep and see how close it is to returning to the spot of destination. How close, once I get to the Jeep, in other words, to see how close I am to my starting point. We're still on track. We'll see you in a minute. Okay, I'm going to try to explain what I did here, so you guys aren't saying, what? What did he do? And once again, this is the first time I'm using this. What I did, I guess, this is the first time I've had it out. When I stopped to take the phone call, I went back up to the main road. And I guess that since I stayed stationary for about 15-20 minutes, it kind of stopped. It did stop because I wasn't moving. And I don't know if it marked it as a new spot, but when I got in there, got to playing with it, it showed there's two. You know, I'd walked an hour and something, and then I may have even said earlier, it's like, well, it's like it started over. It's like the timer started over. The total miles I've walked didn't reset. But I know just over this hill is where the Jeep is. So it's still using, instead of a straight line navigation, you can see I'm still on the per se breadcrumbs. And the arrow is showing where my Jeep should be. And of course I know where I'm at, so that's where it's taking me. So when I went into menu, somehow, to be honest, I don't know how I did it, I remapped it to the first map. And somehow I picked it up. There's got to be a function in here that if you do wind around the woods and then all of a sudden you find yourself to where you're like, okay, I know where I'm at. I do not want to backtrack all the ways that I've went. I know my bearings now. I want to continue from this spot on my trail, if that makes sense. In other words, I looped around through the woods. It's telling me I'm off track, which was correct. I got in, got back into the menu, and somehow I picked up on the trail instead of backtracking through all the breadcrumbs. I just started where I was at and navigate back to the Jeep. And that's what it did, which is awesome. So it says we're 417 feet away. If you can see that, hopefully it's not bouncing around too much. I can see the Jeep right now. I don't know if you can see it in the GoPro, but it's there. So I'm guessing I am 30 yards away. It's saying I'm 277 feet. So we are officially here. And it's steadily going down, as you can see. So there, it got me within 23 feet. So let me turn this off, get it the Jeep where we can kind of get a visual, and save this map. Okay, let's see if we can get it where there's no glare. Let's push the menu on the far left. Settings. Yes. Currently active. Okay, let's back out of that. Let's back out of that. Save. We're going to save this trail. Okay, it saved it. Done. We are done. Then when we get home, we're going to see if we can transfer this to our app. We'll see you back at the house. All right, everyone, if you've made it with me this far, thank you. We're back at the house. In closing, just going to do a couple things. First off, when I was coming in off the trail and I got back to the main trail, you know, I was out in the woods, came back to the main road that would take me to my Jeep. And I kind of iterated this on the way back. I knew that it would tell me that I was off track because I had came in from the left, and to get back to the Jeep, I had to go back to the right. And I was using the breadcrumb trail to get me back there. So I knew that I should have turned left and went back, tracked all through that to use that properly because I selected breadcrumb instead of straight point. And I explained in the video as I was going back, because you can pan in and out. You can go to your menu and pan in and out on the screen to see, you know, the trail, the tracks. Well, I thought I had pushed something. Keep in mind, this is the first time I've used this. And the reason why I use this format is, if anybody's watching this, I mean, if you don't even have a Garmin Instinct solar watch, I've only got 4 days experience on you. As far as as I stated earlier, this was the first day I really used GPS. And I just really wanted to see the simplicity of it. So you guys are learning as I'm learning. So just to see how easy it is to use. And I was absolutely surprised, and not really surprised. I was pleased with the way that it functioned. And obviously the more you use anything and get the function of the buttons, it gets easier and easier. But point being is, I thought I had panned in or out and somehow marked it to where it said, okay, he's back on the trail. That isn't the case. Once I got back to the Jeep and was coming home, and then I looked at it again, I think what it did was it knew, because I had selected go back to the Jeep, basically. And in the process of that, when I didn't go back to the breadcrumb trail, because I should have went left on the road and I went right because I was going back to my starting point, it was saying, no, you should go back. But after I walked a short piece, it finally figured out that, hey, he wanted to go back to his Jeep. He did not backtrack all the way through the tracks, and he is staying on course to get back. And it picked up on it. And it just had the little finish line. So that explains that. The other thing, it showed that I had 29 hours left in GPS mode. And I'm going to turn the backlight on. Hopefully that'll focus. If you can see up there at the top, it says 18 days. So when I started, I had 19 days, which is the max. With every function that I have turned on, that's the maximum, is 19 days. So I still have 18 days left on this watch. And I've got the backlight set for 8 seconds. You could set it to where it stays on permanently, but I wouldn't do that, obviously, for battery life reasons. And plus, during the day, you don't need it. Even here in the dark room, not dark, but you can still read it. Now, so basically it was telling me you have 29 hours if you use the GPS continually. So let's just say I was going back to a camp and I turned the GPS off, and I did save it, and we're going to try the app. That's why I have my phone up here. And I saved the app, saved it in the GPS. We're going to transfer it to the app. And then I'm going to delete it out of here. So first time I've used this. So basically, I did not have 29 hours left in the total life of the watch. And you can recharge it. There's the port. It comes with a charger. There's your heart rate sensors and all that good stuff. I don't know if I showed that earlier. This thing charges super fast too. And you really, unless you use the heck out of the GPS, you probably won't have to charge it very seldom. But anyways, just to get that through, once I turn the GPS off, it's back to 18 days. So that's awesome. And it was just telling me you got 30 hours max on GPS continuous use. You're down to 29 hours, even though I was out there longer than an hour using the GPS. I guess the solar helped keep up the battery life. Okay, with that being said, whoa, we're going to go to and this is the first time I've tried this. You know, there's my Garmin Connect. That tells you all your health. Well, actually, this tells me that I burned 584 calories. The total time that I was out was 1 hour, 43 minutes, 16 seconds, Stoddard County. I hiked 2.49 miles. So that's actually on my health meter. Now we're going to get out of that. Here is the Garmin Explore app. Click that. And you guys, this is the first time I've used this. So once again, we're going to learn this together. I'm going to go to the library. I'm going to go to routes. Okay, use the map. Oh, okay. Let's try something. Let's go to activities. Okay. So there we go. This shows a topographical map of everywhere I went. It tells me the length was 2.5 miles. The duration was 1 hour, 50 minutes, almost 2 hours. Time start. Number of points, 1225. Not for sure what that is. I could click on the map, I think, and unlock. Yep. So this shows me where I started, Holly Ridge Conservation Area. And then I went all the way to the end. There's the little, and I'm going to zoom in. There's the little loop I did that took me back out to the road. If you remember, I went back and went to lake number 2, came back, and it showed me everywhere that I went. And this video is going to be long enough. So let's go back to plus. Okay, it's just showing everything you can do. So library and collection. Basically, all I'm trying to figure out now is how to change the name. And I will eventually delete this. This is just to play with it. But anyways, it automatically down. Okay, here you go. This is what I was looking for. So up here is where you can change the name of this. So we're just going to say conservation. Well, it says conservative. We'll leave that for now. Hike. Done. So when I go back, and it's under waypoints, there's my home. Go back to waypoints. Let's just see what this is. That's my home. I guess when I was playing with it earlier today, conservation hike. There it is. It's in my, go back, in my activities, conservation hike. There it is. shows me my conservation hack. So if I ever go back here in the future, I can do a playback. I can copy as track, maps, or delete. So I'm going to leave this alone for now. I will eventually delete it. And when you delete it out of here, it deletes it out of here, because these two are connected. So anyways, that was pretty simple. So yeah, very easy to use. I didn't even know about the app this morning till as far as the Connect app I had downloaded, but as far as the, what's it called? Let's get back in here and see, excuse me. It's the Explore. That's the first time I used it. I did not come in and pre-download it. I guess you could consider this kind of live, because I just went in and tried to do it. It was simple. First time I've ever officially used it besides marking my house. But as far as taking a hike, this thing's going to be fun. As I do more hikes and camping, etc., and as I use this more, it's really, really, I'm super impressed with it. The ease of operation is awesome. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the little hike, and I hope you have a great weekend, a great evening, and we'll catch you later. Thank you so much.